Hey everyone, Commander Santa here, and welcome back to another episode of Buffalo Valley. So I have something a little bit different today. We're doing a slightly different kind of video format. The reason I kind of wanted to do this was we were actually at episode 30, if you can believe it. I didn't even know until I went to actually start this episode that we were at episode 30. I was like, oh boy. 30 episodes. I cannot believe we've made it to this point. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy, and gosh, I can't put into words like how I felt when I first realized we're 30 episodes in. But yeah, so one of the first things I really wanted to do here, I wanted to thank you guys so much for all your support and everything. You guys are the best. I wouldn't be here without you. So really, thank you all so much, all my supporters, all my friends that I've made up to this point. You guys are the best. So, without getting too soppy here, I'm going to actually move into, I want to do a little live portion today. And then I have a time lapse. It's very small. So this episode's going to be a little short. I'm sorry. I've been really busy with work and life stuff. And then I also was working on Jubilee Gardens. And if you haven't checked that out, make sure to check it out. I'm going to have a link for the recent episode in the description. So, there was a lot of decorating and filling in that I have done recently in this part. And a lot of it, not going to lie, really boring. So I didn't even record it. Just kind of moving things around, getting everything set, and I'm pretty happy with what we have here so far. So I kind of want to show you guys what we got going here so far. So all this right here is new. You guys have not seen this yet, and this is pretty much what the time lapse is going to be today. You know the fort over here, but pretty much over here is new, but where I put everything in perspective is really, really nice. Yeah, so this is pretty much the kind of, I don't even know what to call it. Yeah, it's Frontier Town, but I just wanted to have a little bit smaller rides. So maybe this was going to be like a kiddie park, but Planet Coaster, we don't really have small flat rides for like kids would be on. So we're going to have to just kind of pretend or imagine that this is a kiddie park. I didn't want it to be super big, so I figured just kind of like one straight aisle here would be absolutely perfect. And it pretty much ends here, so I think it's probably just going to T-junction here, kind of move into something else. And yeah, so I think I'm going to have this path come kind of this way. And we have a lot of space left. But we're getting there. I mean, look how far we've come in 30 episodes. It's great. It's one of the things I just really wanted to show you guys, you know? 30 full episodes, and this is how far we came. It's great. But yeah, I actually moved things around. So if you remember that one building that I absolutely hated, and I said I actually hate it, well, I made it nice and I put it here. So it took just a tad bit more detailing, and I put this little siding because we need a bathroom over here. And I just kind of put it up right here, and I think it turned out really, really well. It's really perfect, this location. I had nothing over here at the beginning, but this path kind of felt claustrophobic almost, and very bare bones, because there was really nothing over here once you were coming this way. I mean, the only thing you can really see is kind of the roller coaster going through, and then you can go this way. You can see this ride going, but other than that, it was just all fences. And I kind of did not like that, so I wanted to at least get something over here, get some people drawing to this, and like, oh, cool, ice cream. And then, oh, is this milkshakes or ice cream? Ice cream. And then they could just come this way and like, oh, cool, Kittyland, let's go. And then they just do their stuff in here. Just kind of pulling the people where they need to go. The only thing I'm actually finding right now is I've had this whole area open and going for probably an hour now on like the fastest setting. And I cannot get people to come over here. And I think I figured out why. When people come over here, they're actually out of money. And I have placed like random, these guys have some money, but I've placed some just kind of random ATMs through the stuff just so I can get some people over here so we can get some good shots, and it's not working out. I don't know why. This is a hike. It is for sure a journey from the front of the park, but I guess we're going to have to get some transportation stuff in. I guess I should really finish the trains and everything. But yeah, that's what I'm finding, because they get to this point, and like I've been watching, they get to aeronauts here, and they get to the front and they're like turn around and go back because they're out of money. It's like shit. And I have an ATM right here that they can use, and it's open, and 0 people have used it since I put it there. I mean, you guys remember when I put it here, but yeah, just yeah. So this building, pretty cool. A little bit of decorating. I did a little bit different stuff here. I really like these fences that I made because you can semi-see through them. They do a really good kind of lighting thing, but they also make really, really good backdrops. I did it with the aeronauts as well, so it's just a really kind of cool backdrop. But yeah, these fences make really good stuff, and yeah. I just really enjoy what I've been doing with this stuff over here. I'm really happy with this. Other than that, a few more detailing here. I have some details here. I just kind of added like a different path setup here. Because technically you would be able to come out this back door here. I'm still not sure what I'm doing with over here yet. I'm not sure with the track layout what I'm going to do, so I kind of left it bare. I redid this fence over here, so this fence actually hugs the path. I really wanted the path to kind of come a little bit closer, but that, when I delete the path, it deletes literally all of this. All of this goes away, and I'm not redoing it. But yeah, I extended this way, just kind of filling in gaps. I'm trying not to place as much scenery, and I've actually found these huge trees make really, really good ground cover. So you just kind of like place them there, and it's like, okay, it's just one big ground cover, you know? And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to talk more in detail about this stuff in the time-lapse, but I think that's pretty much it for the live portion. So thank you guys for watching. So for those of you that aren't really interested in the time-lapse, I guess I'll sign you off here. So thank you. For those that aren't going to go to the time-lapse, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. And for the rest of you, I'll see you in the time-lapse. Hey everybody, welcome to the time-lapse portion of our episode today. So you pretty much have seen everything that's been going on, so I'm not really going to talk too much about this new stuff. It's pretty much just going to be like, this is why I did this, whatever. So this building right here, you probably saw when I was doing the live portion, it was just off into the distance. I actually was modeling this building off of the... What is it? What's the game? Banished. I was modeling it off the Woodcutter's Lodge, only because I really wanted to make this tower right here. I thought that we could use a little tower, and I think it'd be kind of cool. It's maybe like a watchtower or something. The only thing I'm missing from it, which I still have not added yet, is the ladder up, but I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. I kind of have it sitting next to the fort, but I think I want to move it somewhere. I figured I will move it once I kind of figure out what I'm going to do with the surrounding areas, so I guess stay tuned for that. Other than that, yeah, this tower is just pretty straightforward. It's a very simplistic tower. The scaling isn't perfect. I am not the happiest with the scaling, I guess, but that's just what happens with some of the pieces here. I can only go so small with some of these pieces. It's a little frustrating, but I think with the height it's at, and when you're like in like Tegid Cam and peep level, it looks great. It looks perfectly fine. But like when you're really up close to it, you're like, okay, this is actually a little big. So I'm getting almost just kind of with the height of it, kind of tricking the mind into thinking it's probably smaller than it actually is. So there's a little bit of perspective stuff going on. So whatever, it's perfectly fine. I think it's a nice little touch, and it looks actually kind of cool next to the fort when I moved the fort there. But yeah, I really wanted to get another ride down, and I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of a carousel in this area for some reason. I placed one down and I moved it around in some different spots, and I don't know, I just didn't really like it. So I'm actually keeping the aeronauts, and I think that's going to be the last. I'm not going to put any more rides in this little kitty area. So I think maybe I'll do like almost a I don't know, maybe like I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with a carousel. I know I want one, but I kind of want to do one of those with like carousel covers. And I think that would actually look kind of cool. So we'll see where I go with that. This building was just pretty much a basic looking queue cover. Just a standard building with some windows. I just kind of wanted something a little bit interesting. I would expect maybe it's themed really, really nicely inside, but I didn't really do any theming inside because at the end of the day, it's a queue cover. And I really want the outside to look really nice. And this is a building that, like, if you really want to, you can kind of close it up and just use it as a normal, I guess, house. Because if maybe is like a house, because it's got some really nice bay windows. And yeah, I don't know. It's a very simple building, just square, whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to do with this queue building. And I really like the snaking queue. And if this is actually going to be a kiddie park, the queues don't need to be excessively long. I only have this kind of long because it just looks okay, and you have to. I just needed to fit it in the building grid in the right size, so that's pretty much it for that, I guess. Just you doing the usual details around the outside, the different kind of trim setups and everything. I'm a little bit annoyed with these roofs because I know with I think it's a corrugated metal roof, you can actually do the different wood at the bottom, because under the roof itself, it's got these like wooden supports almost on the actual roof piece. When you change the color, you change the color of the wood. And I saw the color option for this roof, and then I was like, oh, so cool, we can change the wood color, because I need something a little bit darker. And no, it changes the color of the shingle, so it's like, God darn it. So yeah, you guys are seeing right now what I'm doing with the windows. I'm only doing them facing outwards because we don't have clear windows yet. But I'm not going to get into that. That's a little frustrating in my opinion. Because we do have clear windows. It's in the... it's one of the DLC packs, but it doesn't fit really well into... it doesn't look well in a Frontier theme. I couldn't really do anything with it. But yeah, this next part here, I actually have been... this is actually from experience from Jubilee Gardens. Rubel talked about when he was on Bro Coaster, he was actually learning kind of different things that Mass Bandit and Mike do things over there. And it was really interesting to hear him talk about it. And he talks about it a lot in the Jubilee Gardens episode. So make sure you watch that. But one of the things that he actually learned was kind of different terrain levels. So if you raise up an area, and it really only needs to be slight. I mean, look how slight this level here. Once you fully detail, and I even added these little steps, it looks fantastic. It does so much to the surrounding area, and it starts to frame things really nicely. So I did that. I made a little area that you can almost like sit down and kind of hang out, kind of like what I did in like near our entrance, just like a little bench. And detail it really nicely, so it's almost like it's just a slightly raised area that you kind of walk up, and you're presented with Old Fort Otto, which is pretty cool, and I think that spot's actually really, really cool. Because this area is actually, it's a kiddie park, but it's also made for, I guess, learning and stuff, because I know how boring, right? But you know, over there, what we did last episode was the blacksmith, where you get to like learn different blacksmithing stuff, and probably a blacksmith would come out and like, I don't know, make a horseshoe or something, or work on like something cool, like, I don't know, a sword. I don't know. I don't think you'd be able to make a sword in like one sitting, but they probably make like some kind of metal and like talk about it and stuff. And then you can come almost like across and up here, and you come into an actual old style fort. And I'm sure they would have like hired people to go in here and like dress up to the time period and kind of give them a tour, talk about all the different things, the history of the fort and stuff. I think that would be really, really cool. And this would be the perfect spot for it, because I know if I was a kid, when I was a kid, I loved these like learning stuff. Like I love museums. I love all this stuff. And I know I enjoyed when we would go to things like this, and I would spend all the time listening to stuff or trying to like learn as much as possible. So I think this would be a really good addition to like a kiddie area, or like, you know, being able to learn and stuff. And the fort itself is just really cool. You know, there'd be like houses, the two buildings in there would be able to like, they'd probably decorate it to the time period, kind of show how they lived and stuff. And then like, yeah, I think that would just be a really cool addition. So, and again, this is pretty much the last thing I have for the episode today. So sorry again, it's kind of a shorter time lapse, but what are you gonna do? I'll have something for you guys next week for sure. So thank you all for watching, and I really appreciate all the support I've gotten. You guys are fantastic. Happy 30 episodes for Buffalo Valley. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take it easy.